Hey guys, it's me. It is the next day. Right now I'm packing my breakfast and lunch for my events over the weekend. I don't expect my sister to feed me while I'm at her house, and it's kind of nice to have, you know, kind of use things up in my fridge, so I'm going to show you what I'm working on here. So I have my yogurt. I have plain Greek yogurt in here. Yogurt, gosh, I can't even talk today. I have fruit, so I'm gonna half this like every morning. I'm gonna eat it before I leave her place because I'll be staying with her. Thanks, Amy. I have my homemade granola here, so I use half of that each day. And then I have lettuce, and I have lettuce in here. I'm gonna combine those two, split them up, and then make a salad, and I'll show you what that looks like when it's done. And also I have a big container of these pre-cut carrots and then some hummus, so that'll save me some money. All right, here we go. So I got all of the lunch packed up. This is for Saturday, Sunday, and then I like to put cottage cheese in with my salads because I love cottage cheese. I have dressing here. I poured enough for 2 days, so I'm gonna pour half of it in here before I leave and then take this little container and plop it in here for the next day. Actually, no, there's a little insert there where that little bottle goes. These are my dirty dishes I have to wash, and then I have to put these away. Alright, so now we're going to the fridge. Everything's packed up in here. As you can tell, it's pretty empty besides what I have for lunch. This is everything for breakfast and lunch for the next 2 days. Some like pasta and stuff back there, and then a few things here. But other than that, my fridge is pretty barren. There's some stuff that isn't ripe yet. And I have a cabbage I can make next week, but I like to do this so that next week I can actually go grocery shopping and fill it up and actually have a chance to clean off the shelves because they're a little bit icky, so yay! Yay for saving money! Alright, so I'm at the winery for art stock, and this place is super cool. It rained like crazy this morning. I was really worried because it was supposed to rain really hard until 10. Setup was at 8 o'clock, and I ended up getting set up early, which was really nice. It's like the first time that's really ever happened lately. I got set up early, I made the meeting, I listened to everything, went to the restroom, and I still have like probably 3 minutes to spare until it starts. I gotta run up there real quick, but I'm really excited for this event. I hope I do well, just as always, but I think like solely this venue is the best. I don't know if they host weddings here, but if they do, when I get married one day, this is where I'm gonna get married because this place is absolutely gorgeous. So yeah, I'm gonna head up there and we're gonna make it a great day. Talk at you guys for a hot minute while I'm driving because I'm actually going to my sister's to spend the night. That was day 1 of the event. I have day 2 tomorrow. Today wasn't that good. I didn't even make $200, but I made some money. It wasn't a total wash. It rained off and on today, and then the sun finally came out and it started to really heat up. So I'm just really hoping that tomorrow's a lot better as far as sales go and stuff like that. But I've been talking to like my neighbors and the tents next to me. They're actually some really nice people. I bought this necklace here. I'll show you guys probably tomorrow, but it says Rise Above. I bought it from a lady. Her and her daughter were sitting at a booth a couple down from me, and I bought it from her. And it really resonated with me. And the craziest thing happened because I paid like, I think $34 for it, and she gave me a discount because she said I'm awesome. And I was like, oh, stop it. So yeah, I got a discount. But anyway, someone put in an order on my website for a $32 necklace at like the same time that I purchased this. Like I came back and checked my phone, and sure as shit, I had an order on there. I don't think that just anything's a coincidence in life. I said that quite a few times on my vlog, but everything happens for a reason. And it was the craziest thing because like it makes me wonder, like, had I not bought this necklace, what if someone placed an order on my website? I don't know, maybe, maybe not. The person, I believe they're out of state or whatever. So yeah, I am heading to my sister's. I got some bar food ordered. There's like a taco salad and a chicken bacon ranch wrap. That was a mouthful to say. It was like the healthier options. I really like to fuel my body with healthy food, and I couldn't figure out why I've been so like irritated the last week because I got like depressed. But this is TMI and I talk about this all the time, but I was PMSing hardcore this morning. Like when it's gloomy, my mood is just like, and as soon as the sun came out, I was happy. So I really feel like I need to move somewhere where there's sunshine. I don't know, I feel like I'm babbling at this point, but I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to do this winter.
In a half mile, turn left.
Sorry. Yeah, so I was saying, I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to do this winter because I'm just making enough money to scrape me by to like pay my bills for the month. Should have I purchased the necklace? No, but I really believe that I'm trusting God to provide in these seasons of my life because I jumped out in blind faith and like, I really didn't think about how big of a jump that was. Like I knew it was a very life-changing event, but like I've been floating myself by for 5 months. That's pretty impressive for not having a job and doing my small business full-time and stuff like that. I'm really trying to dial in and figure out what I want to focus on creating, and it's kind of cool to see what people end up purchasing. I might run a sale on my stuff like in my booth, take a pink highlighter and highlight all of the tags where it's like my older stuff because I really want to cycle out my older inventory and bring in new stuff. I know this winter my plan, the thing that I really want to do is cycle out.
In a mile, turn right onto 245th Avenue.
Sorry, I keep losing my train of thought. I can't fucking multitask for this shit, but ADHD. It's fine. But anyways, as I was saying, I really solely want my focus to be on like what kind of jewelry do I want to create. Like this winter is going to be making tons of backstock, and hopefully by then I get monetized on YouTube and then I'm able to like get some income from that as well to kind of float me by. Worst case scenario, this winter I'll have to get a job, but I really don't feel like I'm going to have to do that. I'm going to work really hard. I have art sales that go up till September, and then like I said, I was going to take like a road trip in September at some point. I don't care how much much money I have. I don't care if it doesn't really look like in the means. I feel like I really need to do it for myself because I've been busting my ass this summer. People, I'll tell them how much I make. It's a few $100s sometimes at a show, and they're like, oh my god, that's so much money. And it's like, well, you don't really think about what goes into being an artist, what goes into a business. I work around the clock making inventory. I sit at my booth and wait for people to purchase stuff. I help them, I talk to them, I make connections, which is all really good things, but at the same time, a lot of times I'm creating inventory because I can't sit still. I'm posting on my social media, I'm creating YouTube videos, so I'm working all the time, which I know that that's part of it, and that's part of starting out a small business, and I would much rather do this, but there are those really hard moments where I think to myself, shit, did I do the right thing by quitting my job? And I don't know why my brain always goes to that default part of myself, but I really feel like it's fear talking in my mind. It's like the survival in us that talk. And a lot of times I have to like acknowledge that those feelings are valid and they are real. And that's why I talk about the low moments, because for the majority of the time I have really good days, but sometimes like it's like one day out of the week, sometimes less than that, which is pretty decent if you think about it. But there will be those moments where I have really low self-worth. I think my art sucks. Why do I even do this? I can't keep up. I don't have money to buy prints. Like that's like kind of what's been holding me up about getting new prints is I have to fund, like you have to put up money up front to like order prints or stickers or cards, and like I want to get different variations, but it's going to be an upfront cost. And I'm making candles and I'm making clothing, and like I have so many different things that I'm doing, but the sole reason for that is one, I like doing it, and two, like I'm pretty sure I have ADHD, and like I can't just do one. I get really bored easy. I can't just do one thing. And what helps me is like sometimes I'll go to a show and I won't sell any candles, but the next one I'll sell like 5. Or one show I won't sell any clothing, and the next one I'll sell the shit out of clothing. I'll sell between 2 and 10 pieces, you know, and that adds up. So it just depends on where you're at. It depends on the weather. It depends on the people. It depends on my mood. Because sometimes, and I'm just going to talk about this and being very open about this, but sometimes when I'm in a bad state of mind or I'm really struggling with depression or anxiety, like especially depression, and I'm like in the lowest of the lows, it is so hard for me to crawl out of that headspace, that negative headspace, and like sometimes it takes me several hours to like talk myself off the ledge and change my attitude. I get really negative and pissy, and like I try not to have it show on my face, but I really feel like sometimes it does. But you know what? We're human and we're not meant to be happy all the time, because that's just not the way that life works. Sometimes you go through some really hard things in life and you can't hold your shit together at work. The same thing goes for owning a business, and on top of it all, you have all the costs rolled into it and stuff like that. But I know that was a very long conversation and I wasn't planning on, but I just really wanted to, I just really wanted to get my thoughts out and express them and really talk about how I've been feeling lately, because I've been wanting to talk about all of this on my vlogs, but I just really feel like I haven't had the chance to really sit down and get in the right headspace. Shut up! Sorry, she's doing her job. It's fine. I don't remember what I was saying. Oh yeah, that's what I was saying. It's hard to be positive all the time. It's hard to be happy all the time because it's just not attainable. We're all human. And it was that show in St. Cloud. It always starts off with some old dude and saying the dumbest shit to me, and it's like, it just gets under my skin. I haven't had enough coffee, and just, it grinds my gear because childhood wounds and that shit goes deep. It's a long story, and I'm not going to explain myself, but you know, it's like salt on an open cut. It's like, did you have to say that? That was so dumb. A lot of times, I can blow it off my shoulder, but that show in Shakopee that I did, I can't tell you how many dumb comments I got from people, and this is gonna sound really mean, but this is the reality of being an artist and a small business owner is, oh wow, that's interesting, or they're laughing at the name of my clothing, they think it's funny, they're making fun of it, they're making comments under their breath, or they'll be like, oh my god, this looks like so-and-so's artwork, your artwork looks exactly like theirs. It's like, Jenny, I'm pretty sure that my paintings don't look exactly like Susie's. There might be a similar style, but my artwork is pretty different, and I take a lot of pride in that. Maybe it's an ego thing, but my art is a lot different than anyone else's I've ever seen. It's like incorporating death and rebirth into the same thing. I can't tell you, there were probably 10 people who came in and they're like, oh, I could make that. This is gonna sound really mean, but at that rate, it's like, you know what? How about you go home and try and make it, because 9 times out of 10, you're not gonna do it. So You didn't need to say that. But it's just a lot of really dumb stuff like that that really gets under my skin and kind of grinds my gears. And it really shouldn't, but you know, when you're in a bad state of mind, it doesn't matter where you're working. It doesn't matter if you're a small business owner. After the 20th comment and you're already in a bad mood, it can send you right over the edge. So we all have a capacity. We have a cup. It's like a cup, and it's like, okay, how full is your bullshit cup where you've had enough and it's overpouring and you give no fucks anymore and you're about to go off on someone. But it's not like I want to yell at them, but like sometimes I just want to say, like, do you really think before you say anything? And maybe I shouldn't be saying this and I'm oversharing, but that is my struggle with mental health. That's my struggle with people, and I'm just being very honest about it because I know everybody struggles in that way. And someone can watch my video and be like, oh, she's being inconsiderate or not sensitive, and it's like, okay, I am sensitive and that's the problem. Okay, I know what my faults are. But anyway, other than that, today was good. Tomorrow hopefully is better. I think I made enough today to cover my booth fee and gas, so hopefully tomorrow whatever I make is money in my pocket and worth the time. I really like the venue. I really like the atmosphere. I like the vibe. I heard that the last couple of years, this turnout is way slower than usual. Like usually there's probably 3 or 4 times as many people, and I understand that. Like today, that doesn't bother me. This morning it kind of did a little bit, but that's to be expected as a small business owner. I think I might do this one again next year, and I said that comment earlier. I feel like if I ever got married, I'd consider that venue. I don't know why I thought about that, but it's just absolutely beautiful. Inside they have like a little bar and a little winery. I like the vibe there, and the people who own it are really nice. The husband was talking this morning. He's like the owner of the winery, and I guess his wife makes these art sculptures, and that's some of the art sculptures that are in this video. And she's super, super, super creative and talented, and I appreciate them. I'm gonna get more shots of some of the sculptures tomorrow and maybe link her stuff down below, but my GPS is about to talk again, so I'm gonna get off here. But anyway, I'll see you tomorrow. If my tripod's in your way, just let me know. Okay.
1 o'clock or so,
Now the real
12:45.
Do you have any way to get rid of it?
I think
Well, if not,
maybe his wife will make some sculpture out of it. You know?
maybe she will. Yeah, I'll ask Steve if he has any way to get rid of it.
Yeah, because I mean, I could put it in my car and bring it to my dad's, but I don't know how it's going to fit there.
If not, I'll throw it in my truck. And I work in manufacturing, so I'll just literally drive it to work. I can take this and get rid of it for you.
Okay, that's really nice. Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you for everything. What was your name?
Scott.
Scott. Tyler.
Tyler?
Yes, Tyler.
Oh, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Zach Elatejos, and I'm big part of Atelier Mamako. I'm the other half of Atelier Mamako.
Nice.
I'm Carmen Elate.
And your husband and wife, correct?
The husband and wife, yeah.
Almost 29?
29 August 1st.
Yeah.
Wow, congratulations. What inspired your art here?
So we have this love for fabric and also for making art side by side.
Okay.
So that's how we started.
Perfect. So you make all of this in here together, right?
Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. And how long have you been doing art markets for?
So that's our second year.
We were teachers before we started a business.
Okay, so you had the 9 to 5 and then you ventured out during the art path. Can you tell me a little bit what you did for your 9 to 5 jobs?
So I was a teacher teaching ESL, but I'm also a DJ. So
Oh.
I was DJing while I was teaching and making visual arts as well.
Very cool. And how about you?
So I started in elementary and then I moved to high school, and my last 10 years were teaching in the care and treatment.
Perfect.
High schoolers. Yeah.
And you were an art teacher, right?
teacher, English, reading.
Cool.
Yeah, so I mixed literacy and art.
Yeah.
A passion of mine of teaching, self-expression.
That's amazing. Yeah, we had a conversation about that earlier, about the self-expression and how you were a light in those places. I thought you were anyway.
Yeah.
I think you have amazing things here. You make patches and jean jackets and
hand-bound journals.
okay. Yeah, perfect. I'll show a clip of those. You want to tell us a little bit about those?
Yeah, so they just unwrap like that. And then I just fill them with watercolor, all kinds of papers, and then I always make sure I add some music.
Oh, I love that. And it's recycled material, correct?
The fabrics are, but not the
fabrics.
papers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool. Those are very unique. And how can people purchase from you guys? Do you have a website, social media? What do you prefer?
So we have a website, ateliermamako.com.
Okay.
And
Yeah, and Instagram account.
Instagram, and then every weekend we're somewhere around the Twin Cities, and then we're starting to branch out a little bit.
Awesome. And how can people find your next venue? Do you post on social media?
Yeah, the calendar.
So I posted on Instagram, and then on our website you can find our schedule.
I'll link all of their stuff down below. Their social media links so you can check them out. Oh, actually, I was going to ask you before we cut it about your poem. Do you have that with you?
Yes, I have it right here.
Okay, can you tell us a little bit about this?
Yes, this poem was written a few weeks ago, and it was an attempt for me to explain a little bit of the soul behind each piece of patch.
Okay.
And I wrote the poem using a marker, and for a few lines, I used a pen.
Okay.
And yesterday, because of the storm, all the marker got deleted,
Yeah.
but the ink stayed.
Yeah.
And the interesting part is that the line that stays talks about the storm.
Yes.
The kisses of the storms of dance.
Yes, so that was left. So what did the whole poem say? If
The
you
whole
don't...
poem says each piece speaks of nature, the kisses of love, the storms of hardship, as rains and suns dance through the wind.
That's beautiful. What are the chances of that?
Nature, the universe.
Yes. Energy source. Yes. Yes.
Yeah, that's imagination.
We're feeling it today.
It's beautiful. And it's been so great being next to you and everybody else. And
I appreciate you.
everything happens for a reason, I feel like.
It's a beautiful Sunday.
Yes. Well, thank you so much. Check out their stuff. Oh, so we're going to talk about today, but I got to take my seatbelt off for this one. Dropping all my stuff. My life's in shambles today. So as you saw from the clips before, my tent took a shit from the wind. Well, I don't know. It was the craziest thing because last night, I'm a believer that everything happens for a reason. Following your gut. I've been talking about this. I've been talking about following that inner voice, following that oneness within yourself. Well, long story short, yesterday I got to the venue and it was raining and whatever. I made the best out of the situation. And there wasn't a ton of rain in the forecast, but for some reason the table on the right side of me, like when I'm sitting in the back, whatever side it is, I was like, I don't know. I was not going to pack all my stuff up because sometimes when I do a 2-day show and it's in a private location, I usually don't pack up stuff. So I was like, oh, I'm not going to pack it up. But then this gut feeling, like this inner voice was like, you probably should pack up at least these necklaces. I packed all of that got up, I had a couple of containers on the other table, left all the bracelets, put the lids on those containers, and I stopped at Caribou today because I was running behind per usual, and that seems to be a trend lately, and I stopped at Caribou and I ended up checking my email while I was waiting in the drive-thru, and it said that there's an urgent message that 10 booths were severely damaged, and my heart just dropped into my stomach, and I was like, sorry, there's a car on the highway here. And I'm sweating balls too, and my AC's not on so you can hear me, so I'm dying just for you. My heart dropped in my stomach and I was like, oh man, I got a feeling that's me. And I got to there and I was trying to be optimistic, but my brain is so hardwired for the worst case scenario and just preparing myself for the worst. I thought of all the situations and I walked in and this lady's eyes were big and I'm like, oh God. And she's like, I thought, I was like, oh, you know, my booth is probably fine. And she's like, it ain't good. People aren't here yet, where their booths are squashed pretty much. And I walked in and I saw all of my stuff and people were really nice. A group of people went in and they started picking up my things. All of my stuff was wet. My tablecloths were wet. My $250 tent is trashed. All the legs are snapped off of it. It's not salvageable. The only thing I managed to salvage off there was the tarp on the top. And I just started instantly bawling. And my mind replayed all these scenarios in my head of me and my mom making art when I was little and this whole journey that I'm on and this YouTube channel and just all of this effort that I'm pouring into it. And I haven't been doing super great financially at these events. Yesterday I didn't even make $200, and I think that it was because of the weather, and the people that own the venue are so nice and they're so kind, and I even talked to some of the other vendors and they're like, yeah, usually this venue does a lot better, and there was only 40% of what there usually is. Usually there's 60%, so like more than half of people were not there. I don't know what I'm trying to say. I'm just saying only 40% were there. Usually there's 60% more people. And I'm like, okay, whatever. And I was crying and I was in my feelings and people were trying to talk to me. And I'm like, I'm really sorry, but I just need like a moment. People are like, do you need a hug? I'm like, I'm sorry. I don't want to be touched. I just want to be left alone. I'm so used to dealing with shit by myself. And I almost don't know how to take comfort from somebody, as weird as that sounds. My mom was my person, and the reason why I create art is because I ran from it for 8 years, so like I just felt very let down by God. And I'm not trying to get emotional in this video, but I was like, what did I do wrong? I'm busting my ass. I'm creating all of this inventory. I'm trying to be positive. I'm trying not to have a negative attitude about things, and I'm really trying my best out here. And people just swarmed in, and the owners of the venue were super nice, and everyone was so positive and helpful, and there's just so much that went into it. I bought this necklace from my new friend next to me. I'll link her social media down below, and it says Rise Above. I bought this from her yesterday. I just felt like I needed it. There was a necklace that said Let Go, and I bought the Rise Above necklace instead. And there's a reason for it. There's a reason for everything. And as I was picking up my things, all of a sudden, well, you saw the man earlier with his story about his poem, like what was left of that poem, that's how he explains all of his art to people. The only thing that was left was the stuff that was written in pen, and it just absolutely blew my mind. And then as I was picking my things up, because I was like, I'm just gonna go home, and I was crying. I felt like 10-year-old version of myself, and I was like, I'm just gonna go home, and everything sucks. And I kind of stopped myself, and I was like, well, I have two choices. I can either go home, pack everything up, have a shitty day, cry myself to sleep, mope around, and be negative about it, and unload all my stuff and dry it out and be angry at the world, or I can stay here, make the best of the situation, and let my stuff dry out. So I chose to stay. And my neighbors were so nice, and as I was picking up my things, the song Landslide by Fleetwood Mac came on, and I had chills. Fuck. I'm trying not to cry in these videos, but it's like, if that wasn't my mom, I don't know what was. And I don't care if people are sick of hearing about it, but I didn't do art for 8 years, and it's what ignited my healing journey, and it's what saved my life. I don't know where I would be without art. And I know this is part of being a small business owner, is I'm stuck in this really weird in-between spot where I'm not making enough money to get me through the winter, and I'm just trying to really rely on God and trust God. And it's been hard because there was a situation that happened and I felt like my heart was hardened, but sometimes He uses these really ugly things and these ugly scenarios to bring us community, to bring us hope. The way that everybody acted today and the way that everybody was so nice to each other, just like, I'm trying not to cry, but like it restored my faith in humanity. Like there are good people out there, and we shared so many stories, and it bonded us closer, and I just felt like I wasn't so alone in this world. So maybe that's the reason why this happened today, and people's booths were destroyed, because it's like, it could have been a lot worse. All of my merchandise could have been down the hill. What did I learn today? Have fucking business insurance, because I don't have that yet, because I don't have a lot of money. And this journey is not for the weak. Ah, fuck, I'll tell you that right now. I just kept hearing my dad in my head, because my dad started a tree company at like 50 years old. Maybe he was older than that at the time, like 6-7 years ago. And I remember the first year that he quit his job, and it was hell, and all of his equipment was breaking and nothing was going right, and he was in the hole, and he almost didn't have enough money for his bills. And he's told me quite a few times, he's like, Ty, I had two choices. It's either I drown or I keep paddling the boat and going forward. Like, he could have quit and got a regular 9-to-5, or he could have kept going with his tree company. And now he makes the most money he's ever made in his life. And my dad has been a hard worker his entire life. My dad is where I get my work ethic from. My dad is where I get my willpower from. And I'm just very grateful for the things that happened today. And I'm not trying to be negative or sappy in all of my videos, but this is the journey. This is the reality of the matter, and you can't pick everything that happens. Mother Nature's unpredictable. Why did I choose this year to quit my job when we haven't had rain in years in Minnesota, and it's been the rainiest season yet? I don't know, but there's a reason behind everything, and I don't have the answers to it all, and it's not my job to know it all, but I just know that I can either choose to sink and say screw it and throw my hands up and not pursue art and be miserable for the rest of my life, or I can keep paddling the boat and see what happens. And maybe that's why you're watching on the other side of the screen if you made it this far, is this shit is not for the weak. It could have been a lot worse, but here's a scenario. I'm just gonna say this real quick and I'll pop off and shut up and get home, because I'm like sweating balls in my car right now. These events are unpredictable, and these events, like, I'm trying each different one, and I will do this event again. I know it's not the people's fault, but the owners and the staff that they had were so genuine and nice, and I love the vibe so much. I will come back. I can't say enough good things about these people. These people were so kind, and they were so genuine, and you can tell that they care, and that's what's important. But what I was gonna say is, I spent all this time creating the inventory, and then I paid my booth fee, and I had to buy another $250 tent, and by the time it's all said and done, I'm in the hole, I'm in the negative, and I didn't make any money this whole weekend. I'm over an hour and a half away from home, and this is part of the journey. This is the hard shit. And life could be a lot worse, and I'm going to try and remain optimistic and positive about it, because I'm just very grateful that we were all able to connect, and I just had so many great people surrounding me, and I feel like everything happens for a reason. But I'm going to get off of here and get off my soapbox and get some AC on, because I literally looks like I peed my pants. So anyways, hopefully the next video is lighter. I plan on it. That was my intention with this video, but it was unpredictable. Anyway, thanks for watching. Let me know if you made it to the end of this, and peace out, homages. It's been real.